A young couple played by Seth Rogen and myself with a baby who move into a new house, and a fraternity moves in next door, and we are sort of freaked out and terrified and not sure what to do, and try to become friends with them, but then end up partying with them, and then backfires, and it sort of all descends into this war, this neighbourly war. But you know, it's about growing up. It's about this couple who are essentially irresponsible and aren't, you know, truly stepping into their lives as adults yet, and still believe they can kind of be in that world a bit. There's sort of they're a reformed party couple, and they are they're as bad as each other too. There's not one of them is the voice of reason in the couple. Zac Efron plays the head of this fraternity who's next door, and he's a great character. He's very villainous and very duplicitous and very kind of narcissistic, and he rules this fraternity and kind of vows to ruin our life once we double cross him. Kind of thing. Well, I worked with Nick Stoller before on Get Him to the Greek, and I was dying to work with him again, and then I read this and I really loved the role because she wasn't the typical, you know, often in comedies I think the female character can be a bit nagging and a bit like the spoiler of the fun, and in the contrary, she's the opposite to that, and Nick really wanted to go in that direction too with the character, so that was really exciting, and I love the idea of doing this with Seth because I admire him, and I obviously think he's such a great actor and such a comedic voice and talent, and for me comedy's still very new. I've only done a few, so it's more challenging for me. It's really fun. It's one of those jobs where I've been like excited to come to work every day because he's obviously really incredibly talented and so funny and makes me laugh in the scenes, and our characters are sort of like idiotic, you know, so we're constantly like trying to figure out these problems together, but we're as bad as each other, so we make each other laugh a lot, I think, and that's a really fun that's a fun spirit to have on set, and yeah, like because it's sort of so effortless for him, it's interesting to watch that as an actor and sort of see how he comes up with these ideas and making I think it's the hardest thing to do, to make, you know, essentially really dark situations funny, and he does that every time. He does not fail, and I just try to wave behind and make sure I'm hitting my mark. I think they're enamored with him. He's so charismatic and charming and young, and he's this, you know, host, and he has a bevy of beautiful women around him, and I think you know, he's like a cult leader. I think they're really drawn to him and, you know, intrigued, in particular Mac, and yeah, and he's so charming and sort of, you know, laconic and, you know, warm to them initially, so I think they're very drawn and under his spell like everybody else in the fraternity.